Good morning. Are we dreaming? Entire like 10 hour long time and dreams. And I had a really busy night. I did all kinds of cool stuff. The downside about that is it was so compact, jam packed with action that I barely remember anything. Um, so to journal about my dreams last night, I kind of have to journal about yesterday and just where I'm at mentally. I had a kind of like a manic dip, a manic episode about 72 hours ago that lasted for about 48 hours. Actually, that's not true. It lasted nearly the whole 72 hours. I'm just okay right now. I'm still feeling a little freakish, but things are mellowing out, evening out. That's good. Um, so I spent most of the time the last couple of days trying to bring myself down from this freak out. It was a massive anxiety attack. Um, yeah, that's what it was. It was mostly physical, bed, and I suddenly felt I was shaky. I was really freaked out. I was extremely anxious. I even started getting a cold sweat, and I started getting muscle spasms. That was fucking weird, and it was from literally from head to toe, randomly muscle twitches. Like it'd be twitching here, it'd be twitching down there, here, just everywhere. Um, then I went to bed and I was just losing my mind. I almost had to call for help. I did manage to fall asleep, and oddly enough, I had lots and lots of dreams, and there was a few parts in the dream that were a little bit scary, but I didn't have any nightmares or anything like that, which kind of surprised me. Okay, so dreams. I had lots of dreams, but I don't really specifically remember like one story very much. And usually, since I started this dream journaling thing, I've been really good about rolling over while I'm sleeping and just doing a quick little recorded dream note and then rolling back over and going to sleep. But last night, I was just like, fuck the world, fuck everything. Nothing matters but concentrating on staying alive. Like that sounds familiar. I mean, sound familiar. I'm not awake yet. Word salad. That sounds ridiculous, but it will be familiar to those that are suffering with anxiety. Okay, so dreams that I remember. Um, it was just so crowded. Okay. I'll start with the really weird. There's nothing in order. Just kind of taking what I remember. One dream I remember was a clear glass of water, just a plain clear glass on a wooden table, and I didn't recognize the glass or the table as mine. And then the view was like from above the glass, and it was filled with water, and then the view was from inside the glass, and there was a spoon dropping in white powder and then mixing it up. And I don't know if I was the water inside of the glass or if I was the glass itself. At first, when I was first seeing the dream, I thought that I was the water, but then when the spoon started mixing the white powder, I could really feel the sound of the spoon hitting the side, almost as if like it was inside my body, like someone was stirring up inside my body, and the spoon was like hitting the sides of my ribs and stuff. That was a really weird dream, but I've had dreams like that before when I'm an inanimate object. Um, so there was that dream. I had another dream about like I'm a pineapple. you're this. I don't know. That's all that one I remember. I had driving dreams, driving at night in the city. It's rainy. Um, oh yeah, I had lots of sex dreams last night, but not sex dreams like you're thinking. They weren't sexy sex dreams, and they weren't sexual sex dreams. It's something that I haven't ever experienced before, so I don't know how to explain it. They were, it wasn't sexual intercourse, but what happened was I met this person, and this person very obviously represented a specific person in my waking life. Even though they looked nothing like this person, I knew from their energy, like, oh, okay, this is this person. And I I didn't really have a way to to move around very much. Like I was in a normal body, but it it felt like I would try to move, I'd try to walk, and it was just like the air itself was preventing me from doing so. And this person, like, you know how you can swipe left or right, swipe left or right. He like kind of swiped reality over, and then I just like was like scooted over to him, and then like we embraced, and we that was like the kind of like sex part, only not. It was like non-sexual, energetic sex. Dreams are so hard to explain. Hopefully, doing this dream journal thing will maybe make me better at communicating with people because, damn, dreams are hard to explain. So maybe this will make me well practiced in talking to people. Boy, I could use some social skills. So there was that, and the cats are killing each other again. And in this dream, I remember thinking about how this this thing I was having with this person like transcended any monogamous kind of thing. Like it didn't have anything to do with that. It was a like a soul, more of like a familial kind of connection. That'll just sound really weird because I've already compared it to sex. So yeah. Um, but there's that. Hopefully, when I watch this over again to remember my dreams, it'll make sense to me. Um, and this kind of happened a few times in the dream where I was with someone and we were having some kind of connection like that, but it was I just am having the hardest time explaining this because it's never happened to me before. It wasn't sex. It was way more than friendship. And I don't know. Okay, so I'll just try to move on from that one, I guess. There was another dream where I achieved partial lucidity. We were in this turret, is that what they're called? The part of a castle, just like that one round little section of the castle. And it was just like this standalone little castle section out in the middle of nowhere. And we were storming this castle. And I was with this group of people, group of dudes. They had like helmets on their heads that kind of looked like buckets, so you couldn't see their face at all, just knight and crappy armor. And we were going up the spiral staircase. Oh, it was also really dark. It was like nearly pitch black where we were, and we kept having to like paw our way through these shabby black curtains. And so we were going up the spiral staircase, and we were like, God damn it, who put these stupid fucking curtains here? It was comical. And then, um, for some reason, like the farther up the stairs we went, the more I was like, I don't really want these fuckers following me. Do I even really want to storm the castle? Maybe I just want to storm the castle. Maybe they're going to storm the castle wrong and only I'm going to storm the castle right. All these thoughts were going through my head, and then I was like, I gotta ditch these motherfuckers. So I'm becoming more and more lucid the more doubts I'm gathering about my bucket-headed knights in crappy armor. And what happens? I turn around and I realize that I've got control of everything. So this is where like partial lucidity comes in. I, I kind of know that I'm dreaming, but not so much that I'm like, hey, I'm dreaming. I could just fucking fly out of here, find a window and jump out of it, or I could turn myself around and ask these fucking bucket heads if they're dreaming also. And when I achieve my highest level of lucidity, that's the goal, and that's what I do is turn around and ask people if they're dreaming and ask them what they're doing and ask them where the fuck we are. But I didn't quite get there, but I did get lucid enough to manipulate the situation. And I turned around and I just simply willed them to stay there. And it was very, very hard because they had a story of their own in the dream that they had to do. And then I had to be like, nope, these are my characters and this is my story. I'm changing the story now. This is how the story goes, and this is your story now. And I was able to carry on up up the up the stairs. And I lost those people, and the dream kind of changed. Um, and it ended up being like this, like farther up into the castle. It ended up being like this museum, hotel, resort type of place with very fancy people in it. Very fancy people. I remember there being like a conference room. Um, I'm trying to think of that one actress's name. She's the grandma in Downton Abbey, and she's also in Hook. She plays Wendy Moira Angela Darling. What is her name? Norma something? Anyway, she was in my dream. I also kept finding coins in my dreams. There was 2 times where I found a nickel heads up, and it really caught my attention in the dream. So I'm sure there's some kind of meaning in there, whether it's nickels, heads up, 5. Those all have dream meanings in them. Oh, I just remembered another dream. This one was significant, and this was the one that was closest to me waking up. And this is fucking exciting. I've got to stop cursing during these videos, especially if I want this channel to grow at all. Bad, Liz. Bad. Um, Very interesting. This is probably the most, excuse me, significant part of my dream work. Not the most fun, but probably the most important, really. Um, I am doing this dream journal so I can personally learn how to have fun in my dreams and fly and just, I feel superhuman when I can lucid dream. But what I was not expecting from dream journaling was the intense interpersonal work that would arise from it. That being like deprogramming, working through trauma, bringing up past memories that I had suppressed so much that I literally did not fucking remember at all. And then little pieces of this in my dreams are starting to show up, and it's starting conversations with um, myself and my siblings, and so we're having lots of conversation, not aware of it all, or only partially aware of, or in denial about. It's been it's been like breaking and healing, and I really was not prepared or aware that that was going to happen to me. I thought, I'm pretty into dreams, and I think that dreams are more than just dreams, but at the same time, I guess I didn't realize how powerful they were, and I thought that I did. But this is really changing my world, and I was wondering if maybe that's why I was triggered with that manic episode, is I mean, when you pay attention to your dreams so much and you're really writing them down and really going through all of this stuff that's in your subconscious, it shakes up a lot of shit. um, so, all my life, I've always dreamt that my house was the childhood home that I grew up in. And that's a very common dreamscape for dreamers, that when you're dreaming of your house, it's usually not whatever current house you're actually living in. It's most often the house you grew up in, or whatever house that you really associate with the home feeling and belonging. um, so I've always wanted to kind of help my subconscious move on from that. Not that I really thought it was a bad thing, but I thought, well, why can't my subconscious catch up to present day? And I would like to dream about this house that I have now. I'm comfortable here. I mean, look at these beautiful colors. So just recently, when I started doing the stream journal, so every once in a while, like maybe 1 out of 10 or 15 dreams about home, I would have a dream that might be in a different home or might be in my present day home instead of the childhood home. But in the last maybe 2 months, it's getting more and more common. And now, in the last month, in the last 2 weeks, I think actually 75% of my dreams that have been at a home, my home, have actually been at this house, my present day house. I'm astonished. I'm shocked. I'm super intrigued, and I think that that is because there's a shift in my consciousness going and my subconsciousness going on right now from like unraveling old trauma and feeling comfortable and stable in my home and in myself. And so the little my dream symbology in my subconscious is changing, and I'm witnessing that. So it's very powerful, very amazing. Um, I have a lot of stress dreams about my parents. That's where a lot of my frustrations play out, just like everybody. I I don't like being angry. I have a hard time being angry, and I hate being frustrated. Being frustrated or angry makes me cry. I don't know what to do when I'm angry because I get such a violent, strong feeling, and I think that happens to a lot of people that have a hard time with anger. Like women can get really violent when they get angry. Like they can be more prone to like slappy, 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 um, because anger can be such a uncomfortable feeling for us because we're taught to be sweet, and so all of a sudden we're angry and we're like, oh my god, overwhelmed. But anyway, I digress. So this last dream I had this morning was set at my own house in my own beautiful backyard right there, and my father was here, and that same friend that I had the unexplicable connection with. Um, and that really saved me, by the way, backtracking a little bit. I was very anxious in the dream, and like I said, going to sleep, I was so anxious that I was deeply considering how I was going to get help. I didn't know who to call. I was like, uh, the only person I could really think of has a whole bunch of kids and has seizures and doesn't have a driver's license. So I was laying in bed, kind of freaking out, like my muscles are all twitching, and I was like, I am going to die. And then I fell into that dream where my friend was like, you're okay. And then I was with that same friend in this last dream. He just randomly appeared, almost as like a guide, as a support. Like, wasn't necessarily part of the dream, but was just like a, I'm gonna stand over here just so you feel supported. And so while you go do that, you yell at those people. I'll be right here just in case need be. Um, we were on the back porch, and I saw my dad. And my dad was grumpy. He was kind of like kicking the grass. I was really frustrated with him. And that happens in these dreams sometimes where just out of nowhere, there's nothing happening in the dream yet. It's like an accumulation of all the things that he's ever pissed me off about. And I'm just already all riled up about it. And I've got that deep bubbling frustration inside of me that I'm just like I'm about to just explode. And in my family we kind of ignore those feelings or just kind of brush them aside. We don't talk about shit. I mean, what family does, right? I mean, maybe your family does. That's cool. um I don't think I was mad at any particular thing. I was just I finally told him, it's like, you know what? Um, I feel like I hate you so much of the time, and I hate you for making me feel like that. I don't remember the exact words, but basically I was saying, I have all this hate. How dare you make me feel hate? This hate is tearing me apart. It's so acidic. Um, but the things you did were so fucking hurtful, and that hurt is compounded by you ignoring all of this shit that you've fucking done to everyone. And then I continued by basically saying how I love you, and yes, everyone is more or less moved on, but I'm not okay with just being like, oh, it didn't happen. Because shit fucking happened, and I'm really mad about it. And people, like, our whole family, we're all still butthurt and mad and angry. And my dad is still an asshole a lot of times for no reason. And we're all very closed-lipped in the family. And now, in the last couple of months, I've been getting less and less in waking up, where I told my parents off, and I decided that I'm not going to keep myself in a box anymore to keep them comfortable, because I'm proud of who I am and what I do. This is kind of like another one of those dreams, but much, much like deeper issues. um, then my cats. There was a bunch of cats in the dreams too. They were all afraid of my dad because my dad is not nice to animals. And my cats kept trying to like dive into these mole holes all over the yard and escape from my dad, and I was afraid that they were gonna get stuck. And Salome, one of my cats, did get stuck, and her like butt was sticking out of the ground, and she was like, "Ah!" It was really funny. Anyway, so I told my dad to fuck off, and that he should be sorry. And yeah, I'm holding a lot back, honestly. I know this is supposed to be a personal thing for me, but there's a chance that my parents probably will watch this video, and so will my friend that was in this video that dream was about. And this is like, it's a fine line with this dream journal thing being public. Like, yes, I'm doing this for me, for my own personal work, and I am very open and honest, but there's like a half a percentage of stuff that I'm holding back. And all the dreams from this morning, I am holding back a little bit because there's a lot of really personal shit. There's a lot of shit that could hurt a lot of people's feelings. And I don't really know what happened to me last night. I don't feel like I've ever had that many dreams before. And um, I had night terrors last night. It's when you wake up and your dreams are still with you. So it's like you're awake, but you're projecting your dreams still. It's very confusing. Not I'll wake up and I will see like a cat on my bed that's not there. And I know that the cat's not there because I'm like, that cat died 2 years ago, but it won't be there. It will be there some stuff. It's freaky. So anyway, this was unorganized, really long journal entry. I'm going through some shit. um, I woke up at 5 to go to the gym, but the way my body was freaking out, I mean, I was just, I was pouring sweat all night, even to this morning. The muscle spasms were strange, and I did not have a good night. So even though like I woke up not feeling tired, I could have jumped up and gone to the gym. I thought that I should just try to fucking chill. Trying to chill. Ah, dang it. All right, well, there's that. Still having a hard time being comfortable with this platform. So, if you watched this long ass video and you got to this point, say pickles in the comments. Um, Probably not gonna give them rain pickles. I want to know. Oh, I also had a really pretty good idea. I thought it was a good idea. So I do this stream recording pretty much every day, unless something happens and it keeps me from doing it. I'm here every day. That means I've got the comment section open every day. So that means that you have pretty much a daily dream journal set up for you already. So my challenge / request is that anyone that follows this, if you have a dream snippets, anything, go and record it in the comments. And I mean, that's a way for you to have a little dream journal because it will be dated automatically. It'll be something that you can come back and reference to. You won't have to keep track of it because it's here on my YouTube channel. I highly recommend dream journaling. It is a trip. And you might learn more about yourself than you've heard. Okay. I'm thinking that cold water therapy might be something that's going to happen today. Goodbye, everybody. Happy